Hello, and welcome back to Factorio Space Age. So in the previous recordings, I have started on my bus base and then immediately been diverted into, oh no, I need more power. And as of the end of the last episode, we had established where we're going to put the power. And then I said I was going to let the robots go do their stuff. And the robots did indeed go do their stuff. We are almost done. We still have a few heat exchangers to put in. But the important thing is we managed to get centrifuges. Now these are slow because each centrifuge requires 100 copper plates. They take a while to come out. But we got them now. Oh, don't worry about the pipeline alerts. That's because the main base has just way too many, way too many pipes. So I have connected up my sulfuric acid back to the back to the mini base, micro base, whatever I'm calling it. And now we want to set up for some processing of fuel. I think I'm going to put it over here. So I could do all sorts of jiggery-pokery in there. I don't think I'm going to do that. What I want to do here is set these up to priority merge in with the existing belt. So we're going to prioritize going upwards. Let's see here. Let's get rid of you guys. Right is nobody. Like that. And this is going to be output priority left. So we'll tend to pack all of our stuff to the upper line. We actually need to lane balance at least this guy. Actually, let's lane balance them all. Why not? I'm going to reestablish these. Different point. Anywhere in here would be good. Let's just get that connected back up real quick. Okay, so lane balancing. I can just bend it around like that. And we'll get it onto both lanes. Then we can bring it to here and I can do my priority merging. Need to do that for every one of these. Gonna have to move you. And that's not going to work there. I can move this over here. Now that's no good. There we go. output priority left, so that all of these can get pulled onto the belt, and then we're going to merge them so that the two belts are balanced. Okay, we still have, oh, no we don't. There. That gets us our logistics network connection back, and this gets us power. So we have up to 2 full belts of uranium coming in. We've got to bring it down here somewhere. These guys are doing uranium processing. Per minute, these will handle 50 per minute. That is, let's see. Oh, wait a minute. How many am I actually getting over here? We're actually getting 2,808. So I would need 56 machines to keep all of this busy. So I'm thinking 24 is going to be good enough. Now, these guys actually have 2 outputs. And I do want to send the 2 outputs separately into boxes and then take it out of boxes and use it, so I have big box buffers of each one. But in reality, I don't need to actually split. I don't need to split the outputs here. So I am going to do this. Now nominally we have 0.83 per second in, and the output is very, very, very low. So the outputs are literally not going to conflict in any time frame we care about. Get these guys powered up. That. There's our other input. I am going to move you over a little bit. At some point, we will be throttling our inputs here. Basically, if we're getting up to the point where we're about to deadlock, I want to throttle it. Okay. Input, 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 output, output, output. Okay. Now all these inputs are grabbing just the uranium ore. Anything else appears on that belt, we're going to ignore it. Nothing else should. These guys are filtering 235 and 238. Now there's a whole nother level of processing we do over here for Kovarex, which I could start designing now. What if I put this down and actually say, you are making parameter 0. Okay, now I'm going to put one of you down here somewhere. I'm going to say, well, what are we making here? We're going to set you up to do Kovarex processing. So, what this does is we take 40 hot rocks and 5 cold rocks, and we churn away for a minute, and we turn out 41 hot rocks and 2 cold rocks. Of that 41 we turn out, we want 40 to be coming back into us. One way to do this let's see. Let's actually just do 3 of them. Actually, let's just do 1. Make it really simple. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, while I'm thinking, I'm going to have my inputs from the left and my outputs to the right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my 2 kinds of things segregated. And we need basically to do special handling for the hot rocks. So the hot rocks are going to come in. I'm going to bring everything up from below. And these guys are going to be the cold rocks. Okay. Now when it's done, this guy's going to turn out a whole bunch of them. Hey, do I have bulk inserters yet? I do have bulk inserters. It's just they require advanced circuits. I'm going to wait on the bulk inserters until I have my belt base going. Oh, all this is... Well, before I get involved in this too much, let's get this actually sending all of its outputs to something. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hey, how about 10? So let's send the cold rocks one way. Actually, let's do 7 of them. I can add more later. Oh, come on. Take the hot rocks off the other side. And actually, I'm just going to do 3 boxes for these guys. Oh, let's do it up here. Output priority, uranium 235 to the right. That'll capture all of those. And what I want to do is I'm going to make this extensible down to the right. So I am going to have guys like this. My idea is that these will provide a way of getting at excess quantities. This is going to be going to the Kovarex stuff, which will loop back to here. I really ought to do this split sooner. In fact, I ought to do it right here. Do I have any? I know I made some. Guess I don't have them handy. I was looking for substations. Okay. Where did I get spoilage? I must have picked up a whole bunch of fish at some point. So my idea is that we're going to take these guys and feed them up to this. Yeah, let's go ahead and put the inserters in on the bottom as well. I think if this needs to be extended, I'll extend it to the left, not to the right. These guys need to be set properly filtered. Get that. I guess I just need to do that for now. I'll have to work out a better power scheme for later. So this comes back this way and it'll go up. We'll put our Kovarex stuff in here. So it'll come up here. This guy will pick up all at once and it will send more back. And that's going to come back around here and insert back into this guy. The inside is going to be the hot rocks. And that's going to be dark rocks. Input priority from the right. Output priority is going to be deconstruction filter, like that. So whatever we put out here will have priority for getting on that bus and going back into the boxes. Same thing here. So will this work? I'd really like this to be able to go the other way around. This cannot be rotated. Interesting. What I'd like to do is have it so that my outputs that I present can go back to my inputs. So let's take this whole thing, flip it horizontally. Oops. Rotate it. There we go. So now, I do that 3 times. And move these around just a little bit, I will be able to get the power properly connected. And you, if I move you out of the way and move the sulfur around a bit, I should be able to line up these machines. Yeah, I didn't think about layout. Oh, let's just put fewer of these in. You don't actually need a whole lot of Kovarex machines for this. I did a calculation at one point on one of my big bases. It turned out I needed 1 Kovarex machine for the whole base. So this is going to be overkill. I am going to put in 9 of them. There we go. So my idea is to have this whole loop basically filled. Hold on. So what'll happen is that these guys will not be able to output their stuff. So I need for this output to go on a clean belt. Oh. Let me think this through. Our output needs to go on a clean belt that gets merged with the input to go in there. So the output does need to go to the right. So we got that kind of a loop. Something like this. So I want anything I send out to go to the right. Output priority right. Input priority right. And this so we're outputting onto a clean belt here. Oh, they both need to output onto clean belts. Oh. Well, that's different. Well, let's see if we can evolve it from here. Here's our inputs. Our outputs come through and are prioritized to come in, and this keeps this guy saturated. This guy will be kept saturated as well. And any hot rocks and cold rocks that get past this is our actual output of our array. Okay, well that works for me. Now as we output from here, we will prioritize that going in there. Actually, that's no longer needed. I am going to drop that in and see where it goes. It should go into the first one. Got it. So this will run for a while before we get any output, because it's going to be picking up all of our hot rocks here. Long and torturous path, but I think that gets us prioritized. It is possible that this will load more uranium-235 into this machine than it needs. Now, in the short term, it means it's going to take longer for us to spin up. In the long term, it doesn't mean anything other than just there's more 235 that's kicking around inside this loop than we strictly need. Okay, that's good. Let's see, over here I noticed some orange. There. Actually, I should just do it here. That's simple enough. That actually doesn't need to be connected. This can just go here. So what I'm going to do is turn these off for the moment. Okay. These are all set with the filters. These are all set with the filters. Let's make sure I've got all of them on me. So logistics, please hand me all of your uranium. Oh, if I do that, it's going to come up from below. I guess I just need to chase it down and fix it. There. These guys really need to not be here, huh? undo. What I'm going to do is I am going to cancel their programming for now, so they won't pick up anything. And we are once again going to go collect all of our uranium. I brought it up here, I don't know. You guys and all of you. Reset. And all of you. Now, if I turn this on, it should start getting these on the rail, but with these unprogrammed, it shouldn't be siphoning them away. And now I can come out here and we can start doing real things. Put you there. We are making uranium fuel cells. Now, each time we run this cycle, it's going to do 10 uranium fuel cells. When we start to hot this up, I want to start off with a good number of them to begin with. Actually, let's just do a whole batch of as many as we can do right now. We'll turn that off when we've unlocked Kovarex. I will turn it off so it does other things. Okay, let's put it here. Now he also needs input of iron, which I'm going to bring in here. And his output is fuel, which I'm going to send all the way out to the right. Where did you go again? Here we are. So, come from here to here. There's my fuel output, which is going to be sent somewhere else. I think what I'm going to do that, and we're going to say right here, this is read the entire belt. And this is going to say enable if the entire belt, the number of uranium fuel cells on the entire belt is less than 12. Same thing here. We're going to put that on all of these. Okay. You are only picking up that. You are only picking up that. And you are only picking up that. Okay. And your output filter is uranium fuel cells. So this says we're going to put 12 uranium cells on this belt no matter how long it is. And it's going to be long. I can't I think if I send it under... oh, it still works. Okay. I can't use splitters and mergers. Let's run a little faster. The robots should have access to some repairs. Apparently, I have the repair pack, so okay. You know what? If I'm going to be doing that, I might as well just draw it right straight across, huh? Come on. Okay, so this is fuel. Now this is extended by adding more instances of these guys out to the right. So we are not going to be looping this around. So we do need to present to both top and bottom here. I'd like to be able to split it between the two. And this is overkill for the pumps too, by the way. I'll tell you what. Do that. I don't really need all of this, do I? Or all of this. this can actually be slipped in here. Yeah, I should have noticed this when I was building it initially. This is one of the benefits of using a lot of landfill, is you can just put your pump wherever you want as long as you haven't landfilled there yet. As long as you don't care. Yeah. Well, you haven't put anything in, you can always unlandfill where the pump needs to draw from. Actually, let's bring in this guy about here. So, this is not going to be measuring the number on these lines. So these lines will fill up. We'll split it halfway, but there's only going to be a dozen on here. That will cut our problems down a little bit. Now, the particular setup here, the conditions on these are wacky. I'm going to redo it. But the condition I want is just simple, that there is no fuel in here, okay, for one, and for the second one, that the amount of steam on the outboard is low. So we have steam coming in here on green. That's good. We get green. Green is steam all the way back to here. Why do you have to be so dark? Basically, I want to insert fuel if we are low on steam and the reactor is not warm and the reactor has no fuel. Oh, yeah. Actually, low on steam and no fuel, and yeah, and cold. How many conditions can I put in? I think I can just put in, yeah, just the one thing. I always want to be able to output, so let's just always output. Okay, so the output will always get taken away. Now our input, like that, we want to use only one. We want to put in only fuel. And we want a condition. Steam is low and we have no fuel in there. That almost needs a logistic guide for each one of them. Can I fit it in here? Can I move this out by one? Can I move it in by one? Oh, helps if I put landfill in. Hold on. Where's my landfill? I am not carrying landfill. How am I not carrying landfill? So with landfill there, you are carrying depleted cells. Just like that. Landfill is on the way. So my idea is to put in, well, let's rough it out over here first. Do a comparator. Okay. And get rid of the red wire. Just goes around to there. Okay, so the green wire coming in is our global status. That has like steam on it. Okay. And then the red wire is going to have status of the reactor. And then finally, the output of this comparator is going over. So, in order for us to output a 1, and I'm going to say 1 fuel, okay, conditions are on green, well, actually it doesn't matter, we don't need to tell it where it is, but steam, there, no. Steam. So steam needs to be less than 5,000 of the 25,000. So we're down to 20% of our steam load. I will tune this. I need to make sure that if the reactor is cold, okay, we get down to 5,000 steam, we can get the reactor up to full speed before this goes down to 0. That sounds a little iffy to me. Oh, wait a minute. That's not for the whole thing. That's the amount in one of these tanks. Okay, let's do that. If we are down to 20% steam, okay, add the condition. This is going to read fuel and temperature. Temperature's on T, and the amount of fuel in the reactor is less than 1. And I'll have to change that to and in a moment. And the T for the temperature is less than, say, 600. 500 is the minimum temperature for everything to light up. Now the question is, when we put in the first bit of fuel and it gets put into place, does this still see 1 fuel here? Okay, so enable when uranium fuel cell is greater than 0. Okay, what I'm going to want to see is I'm going to want to see this light up and get me just 1 fuel cell in. If it gets me 2, that's okay. It just means that we're going to be burning excess fuel, and I will have to figure out something. So the reason why we aren't making fuel is because we have no iron. How are we doing for quantities down here? Nothing in the boxes yet. That's cool. That's cool. Closest source of iron. We could request it in. Well, for that matter, we could request fuel across there, too. Although, I would rather not. Okay, let's melt the iron in. Find the belt. Find the place where we can build iron from first. That's gonna be a long belt. Jeez. Can I call this a temporary iron belt? And we should be able to go south here. Okay, there's iron. I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to let this run without condition. Let it fill up that belt as best it can. All of these guys can have this condition removed. Yeah. That way we'll get a whole bunch of fuel going before we have Kovarex ready to go. Now we can remove all of this. Hopefully, during the time it takes for the Kovarex guys to spin up, we will be able to either keep the reactors going on the fuel we've given them so far, or alternately, we'll be able to let the factory run in reduced mode without drawing too much energy until the Kovarex guys are all spun up properly. Let's go take a look at what our reactor looks like now. It's just going to be the first one. I didn't put inserters in on any of the ones but the first. So if I did this right, it should have started heating, and it should not be... there we go. Okay, so we're heating up, and we are not putting in a second fuel cell yet. I'm going to move you out. I'm going to move you... Oops. Over there. And like that. These are very slow at heating up, by the way. I'm going to grab this whole thing, and I can just drop it in like that. And flip it vertically and drop you in here. And that's going to need to wait on. Guys, come here. I'm going to set this up to X64, and we're going to watch this happen. Okay, all the reactors are now getting fueled, and all of their temperatures are staying in step. Interesting. Didn't realize they did that. I guess basically all of your it's all the same temperature through the heat pipe. So that kind of makes sense. But having it conditional each one separately, well, we do need to have the fuel separately for each one. Let's put it to X64, and I'm going to watch this. Boom, we get some fuel just in time. There we cross the 500 line, and we are producing electric power now. So we are now producing 47 megawatts from the steam turbines and 7.3 megawatts from the steam engines. It would be good to be able to turn off the steam engines until they're needed, but I think shutting them down to a small fraction of their rated output is going to be good enough. And this, see, the blueprint had problems in the cowlings. It had down, 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 down all over the place. So we are starting to accumulate some spent fuel. At this point, these guys should be so we go down below 600 C. We're going to, and if the steam is low, they're going to be hit with a notch. Okay, it's going to take a while for us to build up that much steam. That's cool. I say 500, 5K. What I'm expecting to see when I come back here and look frequently is my reactors will often be showing no fuel. But the important thing is going to be how much steam is there and how much fuel is there. I can check here to look at the steam quantities. And this will give me temperature and fuel for each reactor. So we now have nuclear power. According to this, we have up to 1.1 gigawatts of nuclear power. That spike I saw from the robots back when I first started building my main base was to about half a gigawatt. So we should be good. let's see. So I want to watch for now uranium fuel cell consumption rates. Let's go back to X64. I want to see what the behavior of this reactor is. I guess we got up to temperature and got up to steam, so we're good. So it will rarely use any fuel. So we're going to end up with an awful lot of fuel ready to go. And when we get the Kovarex science done, I will freeze this belt here somewhere so that we can focus on getting our Kovarex machines filled up. So back to the bus. And we can return to the design work we were doing when we were interrupted by our power failure. Again, pipe to ground. I'm going to leave those alone. We don't really know what they're going to have in them yet, so we'll just leave them marked like that. So those are going to be our marks that say this pipeline is available, okay? For now. Later on, once we start using them, that'll be the mark for, oh, I fucked up. I will see you in the next recording.